Hi, welcome to BetSafe for our special FA Cup weekend preview. Myself, Alan McInally, Sky Sports Soccer Saturday pundit. Of course, with me as ever, Paul Dickov, ex-Manchester City striker. BetSafe, the official betting partner of Man City, which we will get to as they are in Paul's treble. The FA Cup weekend, it's always a good one. This is an extra, so we normally do our Premier League preview, but I look forward to the FA Cup preview.
No, I do. I love it.
Well, yeah, I only got to quarters. You got to.
Yeah, I was in the squad. Didn't make the bench when Arsenal won it in 92, 93. Managed to get to the semi-final with Blackburn, which was played at the Millennium Stadium at the time when Wembley was getting done. And probably my best memory is being manager of Oldham in the fourth round.
4 years ago.
4 years ago this weekend, and beating the mighty Liverpool with Gerrard, Suarez, Sterling, Henderson. They all played the big hitters that day. So
everybody in BetSafe land, he got it in.
Yeah.
24 seconds, he got Oldham to beat Liverpool. Right, listen, obviously we're going to focus on our trebles for the BetSafe preview that we have this week, and you've gone for Derby, Man City and Rochdale. Let's start with Derby. Derby against Leicester. I've just had a look, I'll give you Derby. Derby at 8-5, Leicester 17-10, the draw's 9-4, and I can't help thinking 85 Derby is an unbelievably good price.
It is, and you know, two of my old clubs, and
yeah.
I played in this game, and I didn't realise how big it was till when I first signed for Leicester. Huge Derby game. Atmosphere's unbelievable, and I just think Derby at home, they're in really good form at the minute. I know they've lost a couple of games recently, but Steve McLaren's went back in there. He's got them playing great football.
They've looked good, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Darren Bent back in scoring goals.
Yeah.
Thomas Ince having the best season he's had in a long time. I just think the atmosphere down there, coupled with Leicester really struggling at the minute.
Well, they did my treble last week. I mean, I apologise to all Saints fan who I thought that Leicester would go to Southampton and turn you over after a poor result against Burnley, and since then they've won both games. They've managed to put themselves in the final of the EFL Cup as well. So I must admit, I, with the greatest respect to Leicester, I hope Derby beat you after doing me for a treble. I like that. 8-5 Derby. If you're a Leicester fan, 17-10. They really need something better. 9-4 the draw. I've just taken one I normally always do on these BetSafe previews. Both teams to score 3-4. It is odds on, but I think 3-4, if you're putting in doubles and trebles, might be the place to go. Crystal Palace versus Man City. Maybe unsurprisingly, you've gone for Man City.
Yeah, I have, and I think, look, Pep in the last round against West Ham, people were wondering what sort of team he was going to pick, and he went really strong.
Yeah.
And I think he's, you know, with the Chelsea running away with the league at the minute, he wants silverware this year, and this is something that he's earmarked to get it. Absolutely. Couple that with Crystal Palace really struggling, they can't buy a win at all. Defensively, you know, I thought they would have shored up a little bit more with Big Sam going in there. Yeah. And I'm actually surprised Sam's not bought in the pin yet, because last January at Sunderland when he went in there, they were really struggling. He went and bought a couple of defenders, defensive midfielder, and managed to keep them up, and I'm surprised he's not done that yet at Palace.
I mean, you and I watched, well, Palace got turned over by Everton last weekend. I know it was only one and Coleman scored late on, but Everton could have scored a few more goals than just that. And I think defensively is the biggest problem for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Look, they've got Benteke, they've got Andros Townsend, Zaha. So going forward,
a
lot of good players and they're a threat. But they just keep on getting stupid goals, set pieces. You know, and it's the same thing every week. And I know we're talking about the FA Cup, but I worry for them in the league this year. And I think City are going to have way too much for them. You know, I was at the Etihad last week in Tottenham, and disappointing.
Don't know how they never won, by the way.
No, but honestly, the majority of the game, it's the best I've seen them play in a long time.
It's a good time to mention where we are, in case you're wondering, because we're not at the Etihad, or we're somewhere within the country. We're actually at the Mere Golf Resort and Spa here in beautiful leafy Cheshire.
Nice.
Thanks to, very, very nice indeed. And there's a Man City connection there. Those of you who like us in BetSafe and know the Mere Golf Resort and Spa will know exactly the Man City connection here, because of course we mention all the time that BetSafe is the official betting partner of Man City. And thanks to Joe Gates, who's the director of golf. I always say he's director of football. He's director of golf here. So thanks to Joe for letting us film here. It is a very beautiful place. We will be back later in the year, just outside behind us, and you'll see just exactly how beautiful this place is. So Man City, 5-1 Palace. Man City's odds on, 6-11, 100-3 the draw. Now, I spoke to you about him ages. I mean, he signed in August, only just came on as a subby, had a good impact. Yeah. Maybe could have scored. He did score, but it wasn't given.
His first three touches,
scored
a goal. Nearly had an assist and had a header that nearly went in the top corner.
Well, I've taken Jesus Gabriel, we're talking about, score first 5-1. Both teams to score in City to win 11-5. I've only put it in because I did so with the Leicester game, the Leicester Derby game. I just don't know if Palace will score.
He's a player, by the way.
Really?
He's top, I know.
I'm going to mark that.
Yeah.
Log that on Betsy.
When you've got
He's a player.
When you've got Neymar,
Will he play, Paul?
I think he'll start.
Okay.
I mean, he only got 12 minutes against Tottenham.
Yeah.
But he's the sort of player that he was electric when he came on. He was everywhere. Fans loved him. The whole ground got a lift. Tricky. When Neymar comes out and says that he could be one of the best Brazilian players ever, that tells you something.
Exactly. Okay, 6 to 11 odds on for Man City for Paul. Your third one, this is a massive game, by the way. This is huge. Remember, this is an FA Cup preview, of course, so we're going to get to there will be a midweek Premier League preview, but this weekend now it's the FA Cup. Rochdale against Huddersfield, and you've gone for Huddersfield.
I went for Rochdale.
That's what I meant, yeah.
I went for Rochdale. I just... And every
League One against Championship.
Yeah, and a team that's flying in the Championship as well at Huddersfield. And, Wagner's went in there and he's gone and played some great football. Yeah. Really...
I'm glad you mentioned that, Paul. Just sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, I actually saw them pretty early on in the season against Newcastle up there, and I spoke to Wagner and he was happy with the way things are going. And they actually turned Newcastle over at St James's Park.
Yeah, I've seen him a few times and he's got them right at it. Very much like you can tell he's worked under Klopp, how they press without the ball.
You like Keith Hill, don't you?
I do. Look, I've known Hilly a long time and I've managed against him probably 8, 9, 10 times, and he's a clever guy. I wouldn't tell him that to his face.
No chance.
We might if he wins. He's got no budget. He produces player after player after player, and when you're actually playing against him, it's a bit of a shock because he changes formation about 4 or 5 times within one half sometimes, and you're standing there managing against him, you're thinking, well, what's he done now?
Well, that's a good point you bring up. Then how does he go about the game against Huddersfield? Then does he, because they're at home, does he go?
He'll go after them. Their home form's really good, and it's Scotland. Huddersfield will get a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Old school stadium, really tight ground, tight pitch, fans right on top of them, and that's one of the reasons I fancy Rochdale.
Brilliant. Rochdale 23 to 10. It's a great price that Paul's given you. 12 to 5 the draw. Huddersfield 65. So favourites to win Huddersfield and still odds against. Both teams to score, and you think the game will finish a draw 100 to 30. A draw 12 to 5. Rochdale to score in both halves 16 to 5, which might just be a bit of value.
There is. The lad they've got, Ian Henderson there. He's a good player, scores a lot of goals, plays off the front. I tried signing him about 17 times, but could never quite get him. But he's a real threat. Okay, brilliant. Paul's treble, which is Derby, Man City, and Rochdale, all to win at 14 to 1. Okay, McInally treble. I've done Blackburn, Millwall, and Fulham, and Blackburn play Blackpool, another two,
which is a huge. Was it a Lancashire derby?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is another two of my old clubs.
Yeah, you've been around.
Yeah, I got around a little bit. Be a tough game for Blackburn this.
I know.
Coyley, we both know him, him
very
well, and we're all desperate for him to do well, but they're struggling a little bit, and Blackpool going there with nothing to lose might just give them that little bit of the edge, being the underdogs. Not the only reason I put them in. I expect Blackburn to maybe have a little bit too much. I'll give you the odds. Their odds on 9 to 11 Blackburn, 11 to 4 the draw. Blackpool 17 to 5. So you're getting over 3.5 there for Blackpool, so it's pretty good. Blackpool to win by 1 goal, which I might be tight, 12 to 5, might be a little bit of value for. They need a result. They do. They're at home. If the game had been at Blackpool, I'd have probably swerved it like the plague, to be honest. And but team sheet for team sheet, Blackburn will have so much more quality. I'll twist it as well as Gary Boyer going back after being sacked. Taking his Blackpool team down there, so he was fired up for him. But you've got to go with the home team there in Coyley. I just think as well, to be honest, I think 9 to 11, I mean, you're trying to look for a little bit of value. They're odds on, but 9 to 11 is not too bad at all on Bet Safe. Next one, I don't know whether you'd agree with. Sticking my neck on the line a little bit here. Millwall to beat Watford. Now, I think we spoke about probably the Millwall-Bournemouth FA Cup game, and Millwall won the game. So home advantage is quite big. They will do, and Millwall are decent as well. Yeah, they're not bad. They've got some good players that have played at a higher level, championship level, a lot of the time, and Watford are struggling at the minute. Again, you've gone for the League One side in Rochdale, and I've gone for the League One side in Millwall. I know, and look, every round, especially the third and fourth round, there's always one or two shots, one or two results. And I think, I'm not going to pat us in the back, but I think the Rochdale one and the Millwall-Watford one could be. I just think, well, you and I speak about Watford a lot every week on the Premier League previews on BetSafe, and I can't remember us putting them in any treble. No, because they're struggling so badly. We've tried to stay away from them as much as we can. And with them struggling in the league, it'll be interesting what sort of team he puts out as well. Correct. Because midweek next week there's Premier League fixtures, and I could see them resting a few, and Millwall getting right in about them.
Well, again, a bit of value. Millwall 19 to 10, so odds against, or just short of 2 to 1, 73 to draw, 29 to 20 for Watford. But honestly, I just couldn't have Watford at any price at all. They may go and win the game, they may progress in the FA Cup, but I don't know. There's one I've picked out, it might be a good one, it might be a tight game. Draw half time, Millwall to nick it in full time, 23 to 4. So you're getting almost 6 to 1. My last one, Fulham against Hull. I've gone for Fulham.
Yeah, I can see that. Home form's really, really good.
Hull have not been too bad. I'm really going for a bit of value here, to be honest, to boost the treble.
Look, since Silva's went in, they've really picked up.
Yeah, they have, I agree.
Great results in the league. And a good performance at Old Trafford. When United
They've lost some
beat them
games,
2-0.
Paul, haven't they? But they've actually played okay.
They have, and they've done all right against Chelsea as well last week. But you can't lose Jake Livermore and Robert Snodgrass and expect, to go far in the cup competitions or stay in the league. I think it's outrageous that they've sold their two best players.
I've seen Fulham a couple of times at home this year, and they're a different team completely. They like it. It's a hard place to go, Craven, because it's the best of the time, Paul. You and I know that, and I think Hull at the moment in time, let's face it, FA Cup would be nice, but it ain't a priority.
Nowhere near. And look,
and you've already mentioned the players are losing.
Yeah, they've got the midweek semi-final against Man United, a cup game, then a big league game next week, midweek, and I can see Silva, the manager, going in there and making 8, 9, 10 changes, because he's got to prioritise, and if they're going to prioritise, it's got to be staying in the league.
Fulham 23 to 20, the draw 5 to 2, Hull 12 to 5, so Fulham are favourites to win this game, maybe unsurprisingly. So my treble, Blackburn, Millwall and Fulham all to win at 23 to 2, and I mentioned Paul's again, Derby, Man City and Rochdale at 14, so certainly good value in Paul's, and hopefully good value in mine with 23 to 2. And remember, if you fancy your own treble and you fancy a bet, in fact, if you're a new customer, you can have a £10 bet and BetSafe will give you £20 absolutely free. The best of the rest, this is the one I'm doing incidentally for Sky, Liverpool against Wolves, and Liverpool, talk me through the defeat against Southampton.
Not just that, their recent run, it's 1-1 in 7 games, and that was against Plymouth in the last round. You know?
Absolutely, yeah.
And look, I'm a huge fan of Jurgen Klopp. I think he's done great, but I think
he'll be seething, Paul.
He'll be seething, but I think he's been, the press have been slightly kind on him, because if Guardiola or Mourinho go on a run like that, they're under big pressure and under scrutiny. So I think he's got away with it a little bit.
Yeah, probably right.
And with that defeat midweek against Southampton, I know he rested a lot of players and played the kids. Yeah. I can't see him playing the kids against Wolves.
It was Plymouth. They played, what was it, 11 changes or something. It was the youngest team they'd ever played, wasn't it? I think
they'll be a strong. I think if they'd won against Southampton and got to the Wembley final, he could have afforded to maybe rest a few. But
Paul Lambert will be gutted then, won't he?
Yeah, no, he will do. And Lambo's done great since he's went in there as well.
I think he's struggled. He's not an awful lot of money to spend at Wolves. I don't know whether he'll even get that.
No, he's not. He's went in there. He's had to work with the players, and they were really struggling, by the way, before Paul went in. Yeah. And they've picked up a little bit inconsistent, but with the players that he's got, not being his players, he's done a great job.
Absolutely. Liverpool 1-4, very, very, very big favourites. Odds on 1-4. Draw 50, 1-10. Wolves 10.
Did I tell you I beat Liverpool when I was manager at Oldham?
Yes. What was the score?
3-2.
What was that?
Yeah,
extra time, just 3-2, 90 minutes.
3-2. Yep.
Who scored the winner?
Big Matt Smith.
Big Matt Smith.
Yeah, we signed him from Solihull Moors. Yeah, non-league.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. 4
years ago. So there is. I was going to say that's a real surprise, because everybody thought that Liverpool would win that night. You're right. So I'll mention that again. 51-10 the draw. Wolves 10s to Wolves turnover. Liverpool at Anfield. I think the way that you quite rightly said they need a result.
I think depending on what team Klopp puts out, you've got to go with Liverpool, I would think.
I did mention Liverpool over 3.5 goals just because of the reason Paul actually quite rightly said they might need to play a strong team, get a good result. 13-5 if you fancy them. Another one, Spurs against Wickham. I'll give you the odds. Spurs 1-6, unpredictably they are. 33-5, Wickham 17-1. And I think BetSafe should probably have said Wickham should be bigger. Spurs are as good a football team at the moment in time. Although having said that, I did say earlier on, I've contradicted myself a little. I thought Man City were unlucky not to beat Spurs. Yeah. But Spurs at home against Wickham, surely it's over 4 goals.
Right, look, that's the talk about the magic of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
What a game for Wickham.
Oh,
you know, to get
incredible.
Not just a Premier League club, a top Premier League club in London, not too far to travel. Their fans and everything. But you've got to say Spurs all day long.
I think so. Are we looking at? I mean, I've just picked one, and I don't want to be unkind to Wickham naturally, but the game is, of course, at Spurs. Spurs with a -4 handicap, 21-4. It's big odds, but it might just be one of those days that if Spurs score in 10 minutes, you could be looking at 4 or 5 anyway.
You could do. But Wickham are decent. You know, they've got a lad catch it, young kid up front, who a lot of Premier League clubs
Good
are looking at. Yeah, it's only because it's written down. But he's decent. You know, Gareth Ainsworth, the manager, has done a great job there.
Good enough, Paul, to catch it that people might. I mean, this is a good opportunity for him to show against better opposition.
He's a young kid. He's got that. He's not had that academy system going through him.
Okay, good.
And he's got a little bit about him. You
I
know,
like that.
He can be a little bit nasty, a little bit raw at the minute. But he's a goal scorer.
Keep your eye on Scott Catchett if you're a Wickham fan, and certainly if you're a Spurs fan, he may just surprise you. I've got one more for you. Dele Alli to score first, 4-1. Won't be far away. Last one then. Southampton. Oh no, I've got a couple of things. No, yes, last one. Southampton versus Arsenal. And I've got to say, I take my hat off to Southampton because I genuinely thought Leicester would do you last week. I'd get a 17-1 treble, whatever I was looking at. And since then, not only did you beat Leicester, but you put yourself in the EFL Cup final. They've been absolutely magnificent.
And it's just that went to Anfield and won.
Incredible.
You know, so, it was a great performance by them as well.
Absolutely unbelievable, Paul. You're right.
So, but this will be a tough game for Arsenal. You know, they've hit good form recently, but you know, down in Southampton, you've got to give Southampton half a chance there now.
Does Puel prioritise this now because of the win against Leicester in the league, the win against Liverpool in the EFL Cup? They're in the final. He can't afford. I don't mean to pull the reins back a little bit, but did he just let everybody go and say, we're at home, let's go and beat Arsenal as well?
I think he's got to. You know, and let's not forget, it's only talking 2-3 games ago, people were saying he was under pressure because
they won beat by Burnley, didn't they? Yeah.
And all of a sudden they go bang, beat Leicester into a Wembley final, and Arsenal will be a great game for them. I think, like a lot of the games I spoke about, like Tottenham, Wickham, Southampton, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Man City, Liverpool, Wolves, it all depends what teams they put out,
true.
who they rest, who they bring in, how many changes they make. But Southampton at home, they'll be looking at that and thinking we can get the next round here.
I need to mention Sanchez. We always do. He's their best player. He scores all the goals. He does everything. He scored a 97th minute penalty by giving it dink.
Fantastic.
My point being, Bud, he has to play him against Southampton. He can't say, I'll take a week off.
Look, people say he sulks when he gets taken off. He doesn't. He wants to play in every single minute of every single game.
He's like you. He is. He's like exactly like you.
But isn't it great to see?
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not talking about playing at the weekend. I think Arsenal have to get him tied down because his contract's running out.
Coming out.
And there'll be a lot of clubs that would snap their hand off for him.
Incidentally, certainly was one of the ones I looked at. Arsenal 11-10. Not a bad odds on. Southampton 13-5. The draw 73. And if you think Sanchez will score first, I think he plays. I think he's almost guaranteed to score first. In my opinion, 9-2. I'll remind you about our BetSafe FA Cup weekend preview. Paul's treble, Derby, Man City and Rochdale at 14s. McInally's treble, Blackburn, Millwall and Fulham, all to win at 13-2. Remember, if you fancy your own, go to BetSafe. I always say the best prices are at BetSafe. In BetSafe land. Got it in. Listen, good luck to all your bets at the weekend. You'll see Paul and I really soon with our midweek Premier League preview.